I'm here. I'm awake and I'm here. Not the most energized and motivated morning, but my morning routine is non-negotiable. So let's get started. So I take Nature's Thyroid. I keep it in my nightstand. I take it 30 minutes before I eat anything. So it's the first thing I do in the day. I told the doctor I wanted something more natural. So he prescribed Nature's Thyroid as my thyroid tends to run a little bit low. That can massively affect your mental health. And this has helped balance out. I also keep a bottle of water on my nightstand, not only so I can take the supplement, but because water helps more with energy than caffeine. So you wanna make sure that you're starting your day by being super hydrated. This ensures that I get enough water each day. That's something that's super challenging for me. And if I start off with getting a good amount, it helps me stay on track. Wait, what do we have there? What do we have there? We have a Ricky. Say hi, Ricky. Ricky is not gonna be happy to have to go to his own bed, but I have to make mine. Gotta be quiet though to not wake Preston. This feels like a little secret area, like a hidden room. Sorry for the traffic sounds. So there's two things I do while I'm out here in the morning. The first is journaling, and like most people, I will write my frustrations, my stresses, but if I'm really having a lot of stressed out feelings or a lot of angry emotions or emotions driven in fear, then I will write things down on a separate piece of paper, just a loose leaf piece of paper, and burn it down in my little fire area, my little fire pit, because I just don't want a tangible representation of all of that stuff here in the physical realm. So it's just better for me visually to burn it so I can imagine letting it go. But sometimes I do, if I'm just having a general stress or a general anxiety about something, I'll write a little bit about it in here. But I always make sure to end on something positive, whether it's what I plan to do about that stress or things I'm grateful for, even though I have a separate gratitude practice that I do every day, things that I'm grateful for. And I always use this opportunity to write an intention word for the day. So my intention word for today is mindfulness, because I really want to work on being more present. It's really helpful. It's actually the core of DBT, or dialectical behavioral therapy, which is one of the main courses of treatment for borderline personality disorder, which I was diagnosed with, and it's very helpful. But it's also, I just am feeling a lot of pressure as the new year starts. I'm feeling a lot of stress, and I just want to be able to be here in the moment and not get too wrapped up about how last year went, and not get too consumed with what I'm gonna do for the rest of the year. So I wrote my plans, I wrote my goals, but I don't want to become obsessed with that. I want to still enjoy where I'm at right here in the day. So I will choose a word for the day. I always like to have that because it gives me direction for my day. So sometimes it's something like optimism. So I want to try to find the positive things, even if my day turns out to be stressful. And when I set intentions like that at the beginning of the day, lo and behold, my day tends to be less stressful because I'm focusing on being in the present. If I'm working on being mindful, or I'm focused on trying to look for the lesson or look for the good in a situation that might otherwise be really overwhelming or upsetting. And then the second thing I do is I read some nonfiction. Right now I am really enjoying The Man Who Quit Money. It's about this guy, Daniel Suelo, who literally walked away from money, and this has been really a beneficial journey for me because I have a lot of limiting beliefs surrounding money, partially because I grew up not having a lot. My family didn't have a lot of money. I have been homeless several times in my 20s, and I tend to look at money and think of it in a sense of lack, of I feel like I never have enough. And especially this last year with a lot of financial situations on me, it has felt like I don't know how to manifest more money or how to solve these problems. So I'm trying to reframe my mindset about it. And this book has been so very helpful in doing that and just giving me some different perspectives, some different ideas. I mean, really even some corners to cut and stuff, and saying, wow, that's not necessary. I don't need this. I can let go of this. Or here's some things that I could do differently, or here's some ways that I can think differently. But really, any self-help or self-development book, I'll read about a chapter each morning, or the equivalent of about 10 pages each morning, just to help myself grow and help myself get in this mindset for learning, this mindset for experiencing, as opposed to this mindset of dreading. Because as you saw when I got up earlier this morning, I was just kind of lethargic and I wasn't really excited for my day. But when I incorporate these practices, it helps me shift that energy before I really get started in my day. So I always start with some kind of nonfiction book. This has been something that I've incorporated in the last few months, and it's been immensely helpful.
Dance, Wendy! Dance, Wendy!
I was working out in the afternoon or evening, but more often than not, by the time it got to afternoon or evening, I would blow it off and I wasn't making time for it and I wasn't committing to it. So I added that to my morning routine too. And honestly, I just do this in my pajamas. If I go to the gym, then I put on nice clothes because there's mirrors and I want to feel fierce and I want to feel confident while I'm doing it. But when I'm running, yeah, I just do it in my PJs. And I do a run walk mixture because I haven't worked myself up to being able to run a mile yet, but it's a goal. Well, tell me if that's not crazy. Let me tell you, my legs are screaming at me right now. My mind is going, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. Had a long night, you know, all those excuses. And I say, well, we're gonna do it tired. We're gonna do it anyway. We've scheduled rest time later. We'll get to that. It is challenging. It's challenging for me. But if it's not challenging you, it's not changing you. Do it scared. Do it tired. Do it irritable. I tell my shadow, I say, we're gonna feel better after this. We're gonna feel more energized. We're gonna feel less irritable. But right now we have to be here. We have to get through this discomfort. Oh my gosh, I know that's supposed to be some sort of discarded, displaced Christmas decoration candy swirl, but for all my song fans out there, you'll get this. I'm just thinking, I do cherish my life. I do cherish my life, I promise. As things got more difficult last year, I stopped putting as much effort into myself. So I would just either slump around in my pajamas or just throw on anything I could get my hands on. I didn't really pay much attention to it. I didn't put on makeup a lot, and that started exacerbating the anxiety and the depression, and my confidence was falling. And once I did the makeover with Lori, once I really started realizing again, hey, this affects me, you know, and I knew that because I was always very adamant about putting myself together, presenting myself well, feeling good about myself. It's not even about other people. Even if I'm home alone, I would still put time into myself, and I was noticing myself get in that spiral again. And now in the new year, I'm committing to, okay, every day I'm going to get up, I'm going to put real clothes on, I'm going to at least put on some basic makeup. So this isn't going to be like a beauty vlog or a tutorial or anything like that, because I'm pretty basic about it, but it's important to me that I do it because it makes me feel better about myself, and I can feel that mental boost when I actually put that effort in. So I'm going to take a shower and change and get ready. So
There's Erin making breakfast.
Good morning.
I always have pretty much the same breakfast. It's cashew yogurt with some granola and blueberries, and this chickpea patty sandwich with some variation of vegan cheese, avocado, nutritional yeast for some energy, my decaf chai, and some magic mind for focus and energy and reduced anxiety. And Bryson is already here sleeping because he mowed down his breakfast before I got a chance to even get down here.
We're on our way to school, and I have a big plan for school today. Today and tomorrow, since I don't have advisory today, I am going to study hard for the test that I have tomorrow for my math class that is extremely difficult. After 2 days back, I have to take a test, and it's just, why?
So this isn't going to be a beauty vlog or anything like that. Like I said, my routine is pretty simple, pretty basic. It's just to help me feel more confident, but I just don't like complicated routines. I know some people love the long eyelashes and the contouring and all of that, but I just don't want to commit my time to that. And if that's something that you prioritize, that's great. It's just not something that I want to spend my time doing. I have the look that makes me feel good about myself, that makes me feel confident, and that's all I need. I dry my hair with the pink round brush blow dryer that you saw. It's from Bedhead. It's amazing because it helps me cut out the extra step of having to dry and then curl my hair, so it kind of gives my hair that volume without having to do double steps. I do curl my hair sometimes. I'll use this to make waves. This is from Nano Titanium by Baby Bliss. Or Baby Bliss, I don't know how to say it, but it just does automatic curls. So if I do want to curl my hair, this will hold it easier for me. I can never really figure out curling irons very well, so I guess I should have my girl card revoked. Just kidding. And then I use this Shine Infusion by Chi. I just spray a little bit on my tips so that they look a little healthier, a little shinier. As you can see, this side looks a lot healthier and shinier than the other side. So I just spray a little bit of that on my tips all the way around. Don't need to get it in the roots because I don't want my roots looking greasy. And then just kind of finger it through a little bit, and my hair just looks immediately healthier. All right, we're gonna do makeup. But like I said, I'm pretty basic. I'm not complicated, no eyelashes, no anything like that. So for me to get dressed, dry my hair, and put on my makeup takes me maybe 15 minutes. So it's a 15 minutes that I'm investing in myself in the morning so that I feel more confident as I go throughout the day. I always listen to something uplifting when I'm getting ready. This morning I'm listening to Lior Alexandra. I'll link that video in the description below so you can check her out, support her channel. All of my products are cruelty-free, as that's something that's very important to me. But even if hair and makeup isn't your jive, you can wash your face. You can get a nice lotion, give yourself a little hand massage. You can shave your face or get yourself a nice beard lube. Just take that time for yourself every morning. It never ceases to amaze me how I can always pick up new nuggets from listening to these videos or reading my self-development books in the morning. It never ceases to amaze me that I always get something positive that makes me go, huh, like every time almost. It's incredible. And this one, which like I said, I will link this Lior video below, but she was talking about picking up positive addictions. And this was so powerful for me as someone who has lived with different addictions through different seasons of my life, be it cocaine or alcohol or cigarettes or spending, things like that. Even relationships, I feel like there was times when I was just in cycles of toxic relationships. I was pretty much in the same relationship over and over, just with different people. But that's a really interesting perspective to have, that when we find ourselves in a state of addiction, it's because we're trying to escape. We don't want to feel pain anymore. We're afraid, and we don't want to feel this feeling anymore. And when you can lean into positive things that you can incorporate in your life, that you can become obsessed with growth, obsessed with learning, obsessed with finding ways to boost your happiness, to make yourself feel better, you can kind of become obsessed with those things. And as long as they are having a positive impact on your life and they're not destroying your life, they're not controlling your life, they're part of your life, then that's really beautiful. So I just really liked her perspective of that, of framing these things as addictions, because we're utilizing them to get away from the pain, but in a positive way. So that was a really beautiful perspective. Thank you, Lior. That is my morning. And while the order might sometimes change, the foundation is always the same. I always get natural light early in the morning, both by going outside on the patio, but also, I didn't touch on this a lot, by opening the curtains and blinds through my house, in the bedroom, in my office, downstairs. It changes the entire ambiance of my house, and it makes a massive impact on my state of mind in that moment. So it really does change the entire environment, which changes our internal environment. I always find time to bond with my son, usually during breakfast. This morning he was being a little punk, but usually during breakfast, and also we'll sometimes go on a little walk around the neighborhood for a few minutes, or simply just he will share songs with me in the car, or we'll talk about some challenges in the car, talk about some wins in the car ride on the way to school, and we spend time together that way and make that an experience together, as opposed to us both just being mindless and going through the motions. I always take time for reflection. I always move my body, and then and only then do I come in here and check my texts and check my email and respond to my comments, or record a reaction, put my little kitty headphones on, record a reaction, whatever I'm gonna do that day. But I have a limited amount of time that I spend to do that, so that I'm filling my own bucket, I'm showing up to the community, I'm showing up for my family and for my family here, you guys. I'm showing up for people in a better way because I've now taken time to fill my bucket. I can show up with intention and focus, and I'm not diving into my day with my energy already in the red. I hope that you have some takeaway nugget from this that will help you feel better, help you show up better. This is not an easy routine for me to get into. It took time, it really did, and it took me really having to have a conversation with that part of my brain that tries to fight it, and it still shows up. As you could see when I first woke up, as you could see during my run, it still shows up. There's still that resistance. But it's worth it to stand up for yourself, to stand up against that voice in your head, or not even stand up against it, but to challenge that voice in your head. It feels so much better. It's so worth it, and it makes such a huge difference of how you show up in your day. Let me know if you want my evening routine too. Remember, a good morning routine starts the night before. Or let me know if there's any other vlogs like this that you would like me to do. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you soon. Mwah.